Hi everyone, Dr. Melissa here, and today we're doing postpartum yoga for your core pelvic floor and diastasis recti. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out. Go grab your mats and let's do this. All right, one thing you might want to grab before class, if you happen to have a yoga block or a pillow, go ahead and grab that. If you don't, no worries, I've got you covered. The main thing that I want you focusing on during class today is really tuning in and listening to what your body's telling you, what muscles are firing up, what feels a little tight, really using your breath so we can tap in and use that entire core system. All right, let's get started. Come onto your hands and knees, coming into tabletop position. So those hands are going to be underneath your shoulders, knees under your hips. And I want you to press into those palms, really round out through your mid-back. And we're going to keep our mid-back in this slightly rounded position. You're pressing the tops of your feet down in towards the mat. And we're just going to move our low back. So I want you to lift your tailbone towards the sky, gentle little arch. And then tuck your tailbone underneath. Round through that back, arch the tailbone, and then tuck that tailbone underneath. And as you're moving, you're noticing what you're feeling. When you tuck underneath and use that exhale like you're blowing out through a straw, you're going to feel lower abdominals. When you start to lift that tailbone towards the sky, maybe you feel little deep back muscles moving. Maybe you notice the control of your movement. If it's nice and smooth and you can move it segmentally, or is it a little sticky and shaky and you really have to focus on it? Use that breath, breathing out into the sides of your rib cage. And just tap into everything you're feeling while you're rounding out through that mid-back. Small little round out. And then lift that tailbone. Awesome. 2 more times. Keep pressing into those arms. You're not gripping or holding anything. We're using that breath. Awesome. Last one, lift that tailbone up, and then we're going to come to that neutral spine. So still pressing into the palms, lengthen through the crown of the head, gentle tuck of that chin in. We're going to take your right leg, send your right leg straight back. You're pressing through your back heel, drive into the top of the left foot. That's going to help you fire up that left glute. That right leg floats towards the sky, and this might be enough right here as you practice that inhale, breathing out to the sides of the rib cage. Exhale through that straw, and you'll feel those lower abdominals. If you want to add on, maybe you slowly start to rotate that right hip up towards the sky, the toes face out towards the side, and then slowly drop that leg back down. Press into those palms, rotate out towards the side, and then slowly drop it back down so both hips are facing the ground. Good, nice, slow, controlled. Keep pressing into that left foot. Drop it back down. Awesome. Last one. Reach up, open up, reach through that back heel. Feel both those glutes firing up. Slowly drive it back down. And you're going to drive your right knee in towards your chest and then step that foot forward. Now you're really pressing into that right foot down towards the ground. Hands come up towards the right thigh. We're pushing down into that right foot, top of the left foot, rib cage is dropping down. On your inhale, you're going to think of hugging everything in towards each other. So pull your right heel towards that left knee and the left knee forward. Inhaling, hug it in. And then when we exhale, push that foot and the back knee away from you. Inhale, hug it in. Exhale, push it out. Inhale, hug it, and tap into those little things that you're feeling. Maybe the lower abdominal, pelvic floor muscles, breathing out into the sides of that rib cage. The glutes definitely firing up as you're pressing down in towards the mat. Maybe some opening in that left hip. Awesome work. One more time. Inhale, hug everything in. Exhale, push those legs away from each other. Nice. And then you're going to take that left hand down towards the ground. Spin your right arm open towards the ceiling. And then slowly take your right leg, step it back, but we're gonna stack those knees one on top of the other. You can also always come down onto this left forearm as well. We wanna make sure we have our shoulders stacked, hips are gonna stay stacked. Right arm reaches all the way up overhead, create that rainbow. And then inhale, sweep the right arm in front, drop the hips. Exhale, press and lift. Inhale, sweep it down. Exhale, press and lift. Keep using your breath. As you exhale and lift, maybe you squeeze those knees together. That might help you feel it in the lower abdominals a little bit more. Awesome work. Stacking everything for 2. Last one, press those hips, lift all the way up. And then we're gonna bring it back down into that tabletop position. Pressing into those palms, press into the tops of the feet. We find our neutral pelvis, and then take that left leg, shoot your left leg straight back. You're pressing through that back heel. Maybe the leg floats and you're still reaching through that back heel. You can really feel it in that lower abdominal. On that exhale, pressing the top of the right foot down in towards the mat. And here we go. We're gonna peel the hips, open them up, rotate out towards the side, and then slow control, drop it back down. Press and open, rotate, lift up, and then drop those hips back down. Notice how this side feels compared to your other side. What muscles are you feeling activating? How are your hips moving? Can you feel those glutes firing up? We've got 2 more. Keep pressing into the top of that right foot. Nice, slow, controlled, awesome work. Last one. Rotate, lift, reach through the back heel, fire up your left glute. Slowly lower that leg all the way back down. Drive your knee in towards your chest. Step that foot forward. You're pressing down into your left foot. Come all the way back up. That same thing. So when we inhale, we're gonna hug everything together. Exhale, we're pushing apart. Those hands come down to that front thigh. Rib cage dropping down, so the rib cage is over your pelvis. Inhale, hug it in. Pull them together. Maybe feeling the back of the hamstring, front of that right thigh. Exhale, let's push that mat away. Inhale, bring it in. See if you notice if you kind of grip those toes. I know my toes try to help out all the time. Keep them spread and soft. Exhale, hug it in. Good. We're pushing that mat away on that next exhale. Inhale, hug everything in. Good, we're gonna do one more after this. And how does this side feel compared to the other side? Good. Last one, push that mat away. Then you're gonna take your right hand down towards the inside of that right foot. Rotate, spin your chest open towards the sky. And we're really trying to rotate from that rib cage. Getting mobility in the middle of our rib cage, really important to help with our core and breathing. Let's take that left leg, step your left leg back. You're gonna stack those knees one on top of the other. You can always come down onto that right forearm. Left arm sweeps all the way up overhead. And then on our next inhale, we're gonna sweep the left arm down in front and then press those hips, lift them back up. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, press. Use your breath to really tap into your core. And if at any point you just wanna hold, you can absolutely hold at the top, pressing out. And 2 more. Push those knees together on that exhale, lift up. And here we go, last one. Lift, come all the way up. Spin it back down on your knees, or you can come up into a plank on your toes. Nice breath in, exhale, as we slowly lower everything all the way down towards the ground. Inhale, you're gonna pull yourself forward, open up through the front of your chest. Keep that chin tucked in. And then lower down. You can press back into a child's pose, so sinking those hips back. Or if you wanna lift those hips, come all the way up, down dog. Press your heels down towards the ground if you're in down dog. Nice and strong in those arms and let your head get super heavy. Take a really big breath in. And on your exhale, you're going to let it all go. Exhale, let it go. Good. And however you want to make your way towards the front of your mat, maybe walk, step, hop, float it forward. And then press into those feet. Lift everything, come all the way up overhead. And then those hands come down towards heart center. So keep pressing into those feet. Spread your toes. We're going to make sure we get that rib cage over our pelvis. Slightly lean forward and shift your weight into that right foot. Spread your right toes. And you're just going to hover that left foot. So pull the left toes up. Sweep those arms, lift all the way up overhead. Reach through your fingertips. Nice breath in. And then we're going to hinge from the hips. Those arms come down by our side. Send those hips back. Awesome. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then you'll take your left leg, float your left leg back. Maybe it's a toe tap, maybe it lifts all the way up. But you're squeezing the shoulder blades, reaching through that back left heel. And then slowly step it back, coming into that crescent lunge position. Drive the left heel, sweep those arms up overhead. Keep the rib cage dropped, but keep reaching through those fingertips. Nice breath in. Exhale, open, come into cactus arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, but you're pushing that right foot down into the ground to fire up that right booty. Inhale, sweep those arms, come all the way back up overhead, float it forward, palms face the ground, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Nice, gentle breath in. Exhale, let it go. Now from here, we're going right where we started. So slowly shift your weight forward, coming back through airplane, or that left toe stays down on the ground. Probably starting to feel it in your right hip, but that's awesome. Keep pressing into the right foot so you can lengthen through the right hip. And then we're just gonna slowly lower that left leg back down so it's hovering. Don't let it touch down towards the ground. And then pull yourself, come all the way back up, reach those arms all the way up overhead. Hands come down towards heart center, and then shake it out on that right side. And just pausing for a moment, notice left side, right side, notice that difference. And then we're gonna shift your weight towards the left. Good to do the other side now. So pressing into that left foot, spread the toes, lengthen it from the hip, and fire up that booty. Hover that right leg up. Inhale, sweep those arms up overhead and really using your breath, that breathing out to the sides of the rib cage. Gentle exhale, feeling that lower abdominal. We're gonna hinge at our hips, so send those hips way back. Arms float down by your side. Squeeze those shoulder blades, pausing for a moment. And then slowly start to float the right leg back. Maybe the toes stay down or they come up and they're lifted. Reaching through your back heel. Keep pressing into that left foot. Squeeze the shoulder blades, reach for those fingertips. Great work. You're gonna hold one more breath here and then slowly step it back. Sweep those arms, lift all the way back up overhead. So we're gonna square the hips, pull that left hip back, drive your left foot down towards the ground, open up, come into that cactus arms, really focusing right in between those shoulder blades. Our mid-back can get really tight. And then inhale, sweep those arms up overhead. Keep pressing through your back right heel as you hinge it forward, palms face the ground, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Starting to feel that left hip fire up. We're gonna slowly transition over that front thigh. Toes stay down or they come lifted up. We're lengthening up through that left hip. Reach through those fingertips, nice breath in. And then slowly start to lower the right leg down, but keep it hovering. Press into that left foot. Sweep those arms, come all the way back up overhead. Hands come down towards heart center. Lower the leg, shake it out on the left. Pressing down into both feet. Sweep those arms, lift them up overhead. Exhale, float it forward. Your hands are going to come down towards the ground, and you can step back into plank on your knees or come into plank on those toes, either option. Press into those palms, slowly lower everything all the way down. Inhale, pull yourself forward, open up through the front of the chest, like lengthening so you don't feel any pinching in that back. And then we'll curl the toes underneath. You can do child's pose or lift those hips, come up, down dog. Nice, gentle breath in. Exhale, let it all go. Good, take one more breath in here. And then you're going to pull yourself, come forward, drop down to those knees, and then we're coming down onto our backs. And if you have the block or the pillow, bring that with you. And if you don't, what you could do is roll your yoga mat up and use that instead. All right, it's coming all the way down onto our backs. We're going to take the block and you're going to place it just below belt line. So lift those hips up. It's going to go just below that belt line, top of your sacrum, that triangle bone, top of your pelvis. It should feel very nice and supportive. Option one, you can stay right here. Work on that breathing out into the sides of your rib cage. Keep your neck and shoulders nice and relaxed. Other option, bring those knees in towards your chest. And this should also just feel nice and supportive. You just might feel the little extra pressure trigger points from the block in the back, which will feel really good after we're done. And then maybe you gently rock from side to side. This is a great one to help relax the pelvic floor muscles by that gentle breathing out into the sides of your rib cage. Inhale, thinking opening pelvic floor muscles, and then just a very gentle exhale. Just gently rocking back and forth. Good, take one more breath. And then we'll let those knees come in towards each other. And then gently straighten out one leg. Point those toes towards the ceiling. And then bring that leg back down. Left leg goes towards the ceiling. Point those toes. Or it could be your right leg. Either one. Bring it back down. Good. One more time each side. Straighten that leg out. And then bring it back. Last one. Back down. Gently place those feet back down on the ground if they're not already there. You're going to take that block out, put it off towards the side, and then just straighten out through those legs. Take a nice, gentle breath in. Exhale, let it go. And take another nice breath in. Exhale, let it go. And just check in, notice how your body feels from when we first started to now. Those little differences, getting your core fired up, really using that breath. And then you'll slowly slide one leg in and then the next. Gently roll onto your side, press into that arm, pull yourself, come up to a comfortable seated position. And we'll just take one last deep cleansing breath in, lift those arms all the way up. Exhale, bring those hands down towards heart center. All right. Awesome job with that flow today. Keeping up with the consistency and really listening to what our bodies are telling us is so important. If you want to continue to learn more about building a strong core and pelvic floor, check out the link down below. I have my free guide with 4 exercises that I give to all of my clients to really hone in on building that strong core and pelvic floor. Until next time, namaste.